A wonderful good day to each and everybody of you, and welcome to the next session of Songs of Six. It's time to be an administrator. So last time I managed to get above 1,000 inhabitants of this beautiful little city, and that means we're now able to press off taxes from the environment. That's the best part of being a ruler. So jokes aside, we have now access to a new source of income as soon as I have wrapped up my mind on where I'm going to put up the administration and as building, So I am producing the paper over up here because that's been logistically a nice choice because, there's the forest, there's the industry. So probably I see two options. I could now either go for the administration route right around the corner or put it into the mountain, which I'm a strong fan of, but I think I'm going to do a thing which is going to be smart, both. So let's set up a administration building here. So civics, infrastructure, here, administration. I just realized that this is a really cool building spot here, which we can easily use. So it's the administration by the Fisher's place. Why not? And it's definitely going to be a stone building. No, make that cut stone. These times our times of poverty are over. So let's make some entrances along the front. And now I need to get a sort of stability into here. So let's see, does that, here. Let's see, maybe I can stop a tad bit earlier. Okay. Let's see. It should be wide enough for larger clerk stations. And yeah, this is providing already a lot of administration capacity. So 66 administrators can work in here. So let's put the efficiency shelves to the back of that. There we go. No carpets in here, but whatever. So, there we go. That's what I like to see. Nitro, welcome. So happy to see you again. And yeah, sad about the untimely demise of my RimWorld stream back there. Don't know why, but my computer loves to crash on RimWorld. He doesn't do that on most other games, but on RimWorld. Whatever, let's not ponder about that. So the administration will be enough for, if I looked up correctly, 66 people. That's of course way more than we actually want to have, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna tax us some mushrooms, man. Mushrooms. Tasty, delicious mushrooms. Mushrooms like every Dondorian human out there loves them to eat. Well, the thing is, I feel like RimWorld manages to crash my computer somehow with its single CPU thing. Don't know how that comes together. I already monitored the CPU heat. I legit have no idea what this could be. Some people on the chat meant that it could also be a hardware defect, like some problem in the cache. If so, I'm screwed. But since it's only a problem that shows up on single CPU games, sometimes, I'm okay with it. I mean, the stream did last 1.5 hours. So we have a bit of a housing shortage here at the warehouse. I'll fix that. Oopsie. No. just should embiggen the brush instead. Here we go. Set up a GoFundMe for a new beast of PC. This one is really good, actually. It just has that weird problem with certain single CPU games. Factorio does that, or did that in the past. Factorio doesn't do that anymore. Think about that. If anything, I'd rather set up a GoFundMe for a funding of a year for me and my family, so we can work on our projects in peace, you know, without pressure of running out of money. That would be the first thing that I'd set up a GoFundMe, but I don't think that this would be something that would work out at the very moment as of yet. So there we go. Administration getting done. I'm quite amazed about the fact that I got the furniture and the paper already together. Alright, not the paper yet, but the furniture. What sort of projects? Well, I still want to write books, you know. I'm still a developer of entire pen and paper RPG worlds. I have a lot of content in my pocket, but you know, without a proper funding and knowing that you can't pay your bills, I'm totally unable to work on these projects to do that, because I feel like I need to do something which actually earns me money directly. And while it's you know, and at the same time, I don't want to make these projects a profit thing. I don't want to make my stories a profit thing. No. They should be just the stories, and then they will be awesome. So that's the idea behind that. There's a lot of accidents in the gemstone mine. Looks like we need a proper schooling training. So I have tons of accidents in the mines. Is there anything you can do against that? I mean, I get tired of these info boxes. I'm going to shut them down pretty soon. We're going to build a whole hospital next. So there's going to be real civics now, you know. So 77 paper are made so far. Since my dudes aren't even able to get the cut stone together. You know what? Let's build up a hauler or two, because I'm really tired of seeing them fidget around like that. Logistics. Why are they so large? Let's make 3 haulers in this regard. Okay, so we have a huge one for the cut stone, whatever. So yeah, I'm turning off the accident notifications, because it seriously is just too much to pay attention to. So you shall fetch cut stone, you shall fetch furniture, and you shall fetch paper. Although I don't think the paper would have been that necessary, but this definitely always speeds up work sites. Okay. How's the food situation? Really good. I mean, I'm legit going to import the mushrooms only to make my dudes happier. But that's okay. Yeah, now the resources get delivered a lot faster. Or I like to imagine that they do. We'll see it with the furniture a lot better there. So let's see. That doesn't really look good. Ah, here, finally. So I definitely feel like upgrading the carrying capacity of my folks a little bit. I feel like probably that's also a reason why the city doesn't go that well. And Improving on the efficiency of my transports is going to be a very, very important thing in the next time, because you know we are going to upgrade our capacities in a big way. You know, since I want to fund an army as soon as possible, we'll need tons of resources. And when I say tons, I mean it. Like, they need everything a city needs. You basically have to set up the goods for an entire mobile city. I feel like that's the best comparison that I found so far.
They don't need luxury.
Alcohol?
Oh, yes, okay. No jewels, though.
So, Witch, hi there, welcome. Yeah, it's the DONDOR Empire. It is. So, the administration is almost complete. I do like the fact that it is so much deeper down the development road now. I didn't feel like it was right to have administration available with 500 people. It feels way more fitting to have administrational rights only if you have 1,000 people in your city. Because if you put that into medieval patents or compare that to medieval cities, the 1,000 people city was a huge thing back then. This was one of the first, this was when, you know, 1,000 people were able to live behind one piece of city walls. That was one of the few, you know, one of the first real big achievements in terms of civilization. 500 people, not so much. More than 1,000, yes. I think it's only because we have the numbers like that, but you get the idea, I guess. So, we got 33 clerks now. I want to notch that down. Like, let's start up with 15. Because I don't want to spend all my paper at once, and also I don't want to bind all my workers at once. But we don't have any other usage for the paper yet. So...
Sorry.
Nicht gegen den Tisch klopfen. Das hört man. So.
Natürlich.
Sorry for that, that distracted me a bit. And I wanted to check out if the libraries were already researched. Yeah, libraries are already researched, so I can't put that up. But libraries do require a ton of workers as well, but I'm really curious to find out now how this works. So the eatery here is missing stuff, it says. But I did configure. Okay. Why are you missing stuff then? That doesn't make any sense. Well, whatever. Let's bring up the administration points. I don't remember where I can see them on this. I see them only outside on the map screen. I do know that I have the points here, but, well, obviously we aren't producing any yet. Let's wait until they got their groove. Okay. Next bigger project would be a Authority temple, wouldn't it? But I think I'm going to stick to the hospital next. So, hospital, where to? This canyon area here is already pretty taken. Let's put a hospital into the mountain. I like the idea of that. So, I wonder if my peeps have so many accidents back in the mines because there's not enough lighting or anything. I mean, now I turned off the notifications for accidents, and I feel a bit like a bad person for that, but, well, they did bring it up every few seconds, so every few seconds a Dondorian has an accident in these mines. Should that concern me? No, because they don't die during these accidents, so everything is fine. We do care for them now on the hospital next. It's so cold in Brazil. Okay. Well, over here it's turning... it's going autumn as well. really notice it that temperatures are dropping, so more rain, more cloudy weather. Since I hate summer, I'm quite happy. I didn't like this summer. It was one of the hottest summers in the history of weather recording in Germany, so... And I really don't like hot weather in general, so... Been a rough summer for me. Okay, let's wait until the administrational points rack up. Let's see how much 15 clerks can whip up. And, most importantly, tax those mushrooms. Our people want mushrooms, and they want them now. How many? All of them. Alright, so the mushroom tax has been issued. Dondorians and humans shall feast now. I love the taxing system, in case you didn't notice it already. I have already assigned chests for the mushrooms everywhere. Now let's see if the taxes can provide enough food to bring up a stockpile of sorts or not. That's the big question for me. And as soon as my new modernizations are done, it's going to be about time to check up the supply grid, the service grid again. That's the word, not supply, service grid. Because I feel like I didn't have enough focus on that the last couple of expansions. Mushroom tax, yeah. It's because we are not really able to grow them that well ourselves here. But I love that with version 62, the ban on growing certain things in certain biomes has been relieved. Now you have just a sucky income. If you grow mushrooms in the wrong biome, you still can, but your income is a lot lower. I love that mechanic because it really sucked that you were technically unable to fulfill the needs of your citizens without imports. You were gated to only one method, and the guy who develops this game hates it when you are only gated to one method problem solution there.
I'm noisy today.
Tatsächlich sind alle Geräusche, die auf die Tischplatte klopfen, am schlimmsten für das Mikro. Habe ich mal gemerkt, als ich Probe hörte. So, everybody who understands German can now keep his insights about the private life of the Icon family. Just, because this microphone is actually quite amazing. It shields out a lot of noise that comes from the backside, but it's really bad at shielding away noise that comes from the table it stands on, which is something I didn't see coming in the first place. Alrighty, so I'm waiting for that hospital to be dug out. And, well, let's bring up some lighting, you know. Especially on those long tunnels. So, I feel like bringing up, no, not niche. Wondering if I could bring some niche into the tunnel, which spends some light. But now that I look at it, I don't have a low amount of lighting here. I mean, it could be more, sure, but it's not like they're completely sitting in the dark like I originally assumed. So what I want to do now is I want to set up a bit of extra lighting in those tunnels. Because these dudes love their lighting, you know. Whoa, that's... that was not intended. You know, it's a pretty long road, so... And since I have iron now for days, and I know that this increases the total happiness of my people a lot. I mean, I won't see it if it changes anything in the accident quota, but I do think that it'll increase the happiness of the entire city by a lot. Because that's just a heavy amount of lights that I just put up there. Yeah, it's the first time for me that I go for a real full-on mountain city. I mean, sure, we do have a lot of building space here above the earth as well, but it's kind of a hybrid. But I think I'm definitely going to do a pure Dondorian run one day soon as well. Or maybe download some Dwarven race mod for that. We're really going to do that, so we have a bit more difference in that. Options, you know. But I'd be definitely down for a run where we try to avoid doing anything above the earth at all, you know. Because we hate the light or something like that. Would result in an interesting city for sure. Can you explain how the tax system works? Alright, sure, Amy. So, the tax system works like that. First off, you need to rack up administrational points, because, you know, without administration, nothing works. And as soon as you have that, you can click here into the taxes, and you see these blue bars. They show you how much is available from a good. Like, this gives you an impression about how much impact every single pip that you invest will have. So, for example, demanding taxes in fruit would give me way more rewards than demanding taxes in mushroom farms. And as you see here, there's always a administrational point cost. The more stuff you do in this entire window here, the more the next point costs. So it starts like the first actions you do with administrational points are extremely cheap, and the more you do, the more costly they grow. And another thing is very, very important to note and to mention about taxes. They make the province unhappy. You see, there's this loyalty bar, and the more taxes I demand, the lower goes this loyalty bar. You can make the loyalty go up now again by, for example, investing your administrational points into stuff like that here, increasing sanitation and or getting some good policies going for these races here. For example, elevation. Well, that's a little bit costly. You don't need to do that. But the best way to get the loyalty back up is to invest points in here which show the people that you care. And you have to find a balance between what you demand in taxes and what you invest back in terms of administration. If the loyalty goes too low, the people will make an uprising against you and rebels will attack your people, as far as I know. That's been the side effect. And that sums it roughly up what you need to know. But no administration, no tax. Let's put that quite bluntly on the table again. So, what are we producing per year? Well, the year ain't over yet, but definitely quite a nice amount of paper there. No problem, no problem. You're welcome. So, if I produce 300 and paper per year, and I consume so far only 37, well, we are going to monitor that, but I feel like my paper makers should be able to provide for a lot of people. So, the mushroom tax doesn't provide enough mushrooms for the city. I pretty much expected that. So, oh man, you guys, Star Sector. You keep nudging me to play Star Sector. I really should start doing that. As much as you guys are talking about it, it must be a great game. So, I want to expand the tunnel here. And there. Okay. Quite some happiness on the Dondorian side there, but not quite the happiness that I would like to have. So let's continue with the hospital, because I really feel like it's about time to have that in a civilized city like ours. And then I'm going to talk about a library next, I think. So here goes the hospital. We're going to stick with the cut stone plans, because, you know, by now I feel like the Dondorians can afford. And let's see. Put up a little bit of a wall here, and so. Well, I feel like it's clearly noticeable that this is a very, very young mechanic. As few options there are, there are so little options to put something into the building. You notice that the health system has been only lately implemented. This is very untypical for this game. But, alright, it needs tools, it needs furniture, it needs a bit of stone. That's stuff I can provide easily. So let's do one thing this time right away. I want to set up holders here this time, right from the get-go, that will provide the necessary materials. So it was 3 materials, was it? Oh, wait, no, only 2. So I can delete one of these jobs. So, requires tools and furniture. Got it. I really want to grow this a little bit into a habit now that my city is larger, because it really speeds up the building of stuff when you make sure that the necessary materials are provided more quickly. Alrighty, we're going to have a hospital. Wonderful. I think with the happiness increase out of that, I should be able to notch up a couple of extra Dondorians into the city again. Although, I gotta say, when it comes down to librarians and the like, humans make the much better fit. They like that work, if I remember correctly, but if they not specifically like it, they are surely good at it. Humans make good researchers and clerks. That's their place in the Empire of Dondor. So, okay, materials are together, so we can delete these dudes, which are rooms for whatever reason that is, but they are. And the hospital. Let's see if the hospital has a consumption. It has a consumption of opiates. Makes sense. Makes absolutely sense, but sadly I don't have any of these yet. I'm happy that opiates finally have a usage in the game, because the game didn't have any usage for them whatsoever for the most time. So we got imports on wood. I don't think I need wood imports anymore. Let's go for opiate imports. Import drugs instead of wood. We can cut the wood ourselves. Well, it's medicine, not drugs.
Sure.
It's only for the hospitals. That's absolutely sure. So I do see one thing that's bothering me. My cotton farms are really not producing enough. I mean, I do have only 2 fields, but at the same time, I don't see me being able to bring too much performance or more fields there. So we're going to unlock a bit of 600, no, here. Why does it have a total cost? Ah, it requires me to upgrade that to level 2 before I can pick it up, I see. Alright, so I figured that an upgrade of my crop rewards would be a good thing. And also tools. Also a nice way to increase your income, because I'm not happy with my fabric amounts, so... Oh yeah, and somebody put up a very, very interesting question into the comments. Whether if the recipe for bread using coal was more efficient than the recipe using wood. So let's see, we get out, well, it's merely more fuel efficient, but apart from that, the grain consumption is the same. 10 grain make 10 bread, 15 grain make 15 bread. There's no difference. But what I definitely want to change here, or why I definitely want to change it, is I have a much harder access to wood than I have access to coal. When I want to increase my coal income, I just need to put more Dondorians into the mine. Or humans, whatever. But when it comes down to wood, I have really only this area here, and that's all my wood cutting that I will do. I mean, I could expand here into another woodcutter. I saw that just today, that there is a nice amount of wood available. So if I ever need more resource, this might be actually an option. So let's see, I put up 17 points of administration so far. Wonderful. So let's do something about Instria. So let's do something for the loyalty next. So entertainment lowers the production a bit, but makes everybody happier. Law, it decreases the production a bit, but increases the loyalty massively. Also makes the population grow slower. You guess why? And yeah, loyalty really comes only from entertainment and law. So let's invest a little bit more into infrastructure. And always take care that you have enough there from in terms of administrational points. So I think I don't want to do the investments here. I still keep wondering whether or not these bonuses influence my own population as well or not. This is something I would really love to know the opinion of somebody who knows the game better than me. Do these bonuses apply to your own city as well or not? Or do they only apply to this regional window? That's really something I don't know. And I find it very hard to prove that yourself. So what do I want to import aside from that? I want to have a Scythalon tax, you know. We are effing Dondorians, so we do the Scythalon tax for sure. And yeah, I would like to have more mushroom income, but well, probably would be a wise choice to increase the production rates there, because it could be very much so that you just influence here what comes out there. I pretty much consider that an option as well, but well, let me know if you know. Until then, let's check out what the hospital does for us. I mean, I think it's now not working right because it's lacking materials. But let's wait until the opiates have been delivered. I find that a very, very cool usage for opiates now. You know? Very fitting. So, we got a delivery of mushrooms, but the deliveries are really... You know, it's only 50 mushrooms per pip right now. And that gets eaten up so darn fast. I really don't think that this is a viable spending of my administration. Maybe we need to invest much harder into the productivity of the local mushroom farmers. Probably I should start farming my own mushrooms though.
Your text city grows, they pay more in taxes.
I know. So pretty sure the tooltip for administration says the bonus is for your civ and yourself. Well, High Twisted Minds, welcome. I did notice that the amounts went up when I increased the productivity of the region. So, Barthini are a tough intelligence climb, not near admin yet. And happy to meet you as well, Twisted Minds. So my wife just told me that our taxation income will increase over the course of the time. She has, as a matter of fact, by now more gaming time on 6 than me. I gave it to her, she grew addicted to it, and then she outgrew my knowledge. It's not always what happens if I hand her a game that she's actually liking. My attention is much more fluttering from project to project compared to one another. So we have a murder, and we have a disease in town. And do we have opiates now in town as well? No? Dang it. So, let's see. Did we actually ever receive any? So, we did consume a handful of these a couple of days ago, obviously. But my import station says it's going to import like 40% of my... yeah, here, inbound 128. But you know what? We're going to import the full crate, because I feel like this is one stuff that I don't want to run out of. So let's see, how's the spoiling rate of that? 16%. So, intelligence research points are slowly running out as well. I'm just waiting for the paper consumption to really show how it's going. And, well, I think I'm very close to bringing up some more people into the city here. But first I want to wait until the first delivery of opiates hits town and the hospital can work for real, you know? Because I have no clue about the actual fulfillment impact of a running hospital. Let's see, services. Yeah, here, healthcare. I guess the healthcare happiness should now be increasing by a lot. Okay, then. Next problem tackled. Then, let's see. How's the administration shack working? They got 19 admin, 20 admin. Administration and science work really very, very comparably to one another. Like, administration and science decay if the clerks / researchers don't work on it. So... I wonder if I want to bring up a nice library here or not. Or where do I want to bring up the library? How about putting the library inside the mountain? But then again, it would be humans working inside the library, so it doesn't have to be in the mountain. How about this little patch here? I don't want to put up more fishery, and if I ever need more fishery, there's so much coastline that I could pick up there. I feel like this is a nice spot for a Startales library, because I don't know what I'm getting myself into. Libraries once were the most basic research buildings, and nowadays they are locked in behind insane efforts that you have to take before you are allowed to library. So let's build a small one first and see how we'll fare with that and how much productivity it'll yield, and you know, you get the idea. So building stable, almost. Then shelves are providing workers here. Okay. This looks a lot different than before. Okay, so the workbenches on the library have a new form, to put it into friendly words. What I'm trying to say is that I dislike the form, because it seems to be so complicated. But that's science, you know? Science can't be uncomplicated, I guess. So that doesn't satisfy me either. Put it down like that for starters. And let's see. So we have very wildly varying sorts of shapes here. Boost 8.5%. Whatever boost means. I love it when there's tons of new stats and bonuses and stuff you don't understand yet. So 23 workers. This is going to be a very small scale library. But, yeah, well. So, the amount of knowledge boost. So, makes me kind of wonder. Good lord, can I have a description of this, please? So, libraries boost the current knowledge gained by laboratories. The boost is modest, and it only makes sense to build these if you have a substantial amount of laboratories. Libraries need to be manned indefinitely to combat the degrade of books. The boost will be gained over time. Alright, good thing that I checked this out. So the library is merely a multiplier now for your science income. I see. But considering the amount of library or scientists I got by now. Let's check out how many people are working here in the labs. So 168 people of my 1000 are working inside laboratories. Is that already a substantial amount of laboratories or not? I have a hard time telling. The only thing that I feel like, see if that grows better here, does the boost grow with efficiency? Because I feel like this is, you know, I do feel a bit underpaid for the effort, if you get what I mean. Like, 11.5% boost of science income sounds nice and dandy, but I have to put 23 workers on that. So I don't think I'm at the point where this pays off. No. So let's trash bin that, and instead increase the amount of laboratory monkeys. You know, there's still some capacity open here. Let's see. While the other places are fully staffed out, but yeah, in a total, the system now has changed a lot. So you will spam labs a ton, and the advanced library, well. I think this will do the same. Alrighty, so I don't need that right now. What I need are more library or scientists if I want to increase that. And I also realize right now that my amount of tools is going down for the first time. So 7 people are working in here. Let's refurnish that room so we can have, wait a sec, 16.8 employees. Well, okay. I want to increase the total amount of people able to smith in here. And let's see, 30 people are maximum here, so. I always wonder if the auto-employment takes into account that some races are more efficient and that's why they put less worker in it. Or if the AI is just dumb and not using the full capacity under auto-employ. So, Ben Lynch, hi there. So, appreciate your kind words. And just doing my job, you know. Enrique, finally watching this live. Yeah, you're most welcome. Like, Wednesday now is on my schedule, my City Builder and Colony game streaming day. So if you like games like Songs of Six, check me out on Wednesday. That's the guaranteed thing. If you want to see the entire schedule that I'm running right now, it's on the Discord in the announcements section. So Discord link is in the description box below. So Pixel, hi there. So happy to see you, man. Appreciate your company. So let's pick up a handful of Dondorians because they like to be the majority, don't they? And let's see how many smiths we'll employ here. Or pretty much rather, how much does the AI now employ? I think the AI really takes into account how much efficiency the working race there has. Because the thing is, there are work spots for 30 employees, but if every one of your employees is worth like 2 employees in terms of work efficiency, because some races are just sick like that, you need less workers in total. And that's something auto-employ, I think, even does take into account. If not, correct me, please. would be my pleasure. So, let's see. Opiate stockpiles are actually not as full as I'd like them to. This place is using a lot of opiates, so probably gonna have to notch up the capacities here a tad bit. As a matter of fact, I'll do. Because I feel like it's going to be really a big benefit for the entire city if I have a constantly working hospital here. So let's see how that'll work out. How's the Weaver? The Weaver is working with 4 employees. Okay, now I don't believe the auto-employment scheme anymore, but let's watch that later. Maybe it's because the supply of cotton is so irregular. Might be as well the case. Okay, what happened to my administration? +4, not much. So we gotta fit in a couple of new clerks. And yeah, I also could, no, not auto. Ooh. Auto authorization of immigrants is a scary thing. Would never put that on. There's just too much consequence in getting people into your city. So let's say double the amount of clerks. Yes, please. And do I already export paper? So, export meat, grain, bread, metal, coal. Oh, coal might need some more workers as well. Rations, leather, clothing, livestock, cotton. Nope, no paper. So, export paper, please. Well, looking for a nice spot for the export station, but I think I'm going to go here. It does do something to my throne, but I have to relocate the throne sooner or later as well. We got to bring up a nice throne hall as well, so at some point, you know. But for the time being, there are more important things. Maybe forget the library tech for now. Actually, not a bad thing there. To bringing up. As a matter of fact, I think the university knowledge would benefit me way more at this point. Thanks for bringing that up. It's not a thing. Paper. I want to export only 10% of the warehouse stock. How quickly does paper degrade? Only 8% per year. The sales price is a joke, but it's still better than letting it spoil. So, because the library tech reserves 8,000 knowledge, I think it's a really, really good idea to forget about that for now and invest that knowledge somewhere else instead of binding more and more librarians there. Adam, welcome. So happy to see you. And Brian. I have both lab upgrades already, yes. So I have the improved laboratory and the advanced laboratory. And all of my labs are doubly upgraded by now. Took me a while to understand that whenever you refurnish a lab, it loses its upgrades. So I had to upgrade my labs a bit too often, but now I know how it works at least. So, this will free up a insane amount of research in the upcoming time, which is pretty good. And let's see, I really want to have a lot of administrational power here. And I also want an arena, so we need weapons. Hell yeah. So, well, let's see. Let's check it out. I don't believe that the auto-employment does a good job here, so I need to look more closely now. So the typical Dondorian worker has. There are stats, aren't there? Employment. fulfillment and bonus. There it is. So we need to find out where are the smithies. Here. So smithies. They come with a bonus of 1.4. Even if they'd be utilizing that bonus. Let's see. So it's only a multiplier, so the auto-employment does a crappy job there. So let's crank that up all the way to 20 blacksmiths. And let's see what they'll do for us. And also, let's see, I don't have the recipes for weaponsmithing and armor smithing. That's something that I definitely want to change as well ASAP. Because, you know, I want an arena, and arenas are kept best, or are best supplied with weapons constantly. Also, this is a nice preparation for the times to come. So let's bring up another room for a smithy. And with the removal of the laboratory tech, I should be easily able to get back or get into the smithing technologies that I require for that. So it's 600 for armor smithing and 600 for weapon smithing. That's pretty moderate. So let's buff up our coal mining. Wait a sec, my coal miners don't run tools? Are you kidding me? Crazy. So right now I'm over consuming tools, so I'm going to employ the full amount of smiths here and see what that'll do. I mean, the wonderful thing here right now is we are so oversupplied with everything that life's just good for us, you know? Can easily just do my thing here and nothing bothers me. So probably I have also hit the point where I'm eating more tools than I'm actually producing, but that would be not the worst development of them all. But let's see. I have the slight feeling as if the auto-employment trolled me quite hard in the past, and that's all. Always have a hard time comparing if auto-employment is actually good or bad. It's certainly a case-by-case thing, you know? It's nothing where you can say it's always like that, you know? It's a case-by-case thing. Janitors, for example, are amazing when configured on auto supply or auto employ. Whereas a lot of the workshops that I've seen so far, I don't know. So here, well, we're at 66% workload, so might as well notch that down a bit. Increase the workload again. But certainly looks like I'm consuming more tools than I'm producing at this point. I mean, it ain't a biggie. We're just going to increase our technologies here. You know, smithy bonus is there for all of my needs. But for now, I just want to wait until a bit more of the technology is unfrozen. And I also want to see if the extra effort of workers just might not cut it. So again, 60% workload. Don't get it, but whatever. Now they're at 53% workload. Why does the workload go down when I reduce the amount of workers? That doesn't make sense. It should go up if I reduce the amount of workers, doesn't it? Oh well. So opiate storage is brim-filled. Hospital people are happy. So this thing does let's see, have quite high consumption of that good as well. So, let's do this. The Instrian people, let's help them up on their feet. So, I think the easiest way of getting more mushrooms into my city is to make the Instrian population grow and make them more productive. So I have 6 more points available. It would cost me 9 points to change anything else there. Alright. Pity. I love the stage that I'm rolling in with this game now. Songs of Six has workload system for RimWorld. Songs of Six is extremely automated. Like you set up the workshop and your workers do like everything else for you. You don't need to worry about too much once you have set up everything. Like here, you are mostly juggling around with the amount of workers on each workshop and how much tools they would get. And I would say RimWorld is much more micromanagement intense when it comes down to the single work, where here where Songs of Six has more macro focus, where you just try to balance out the big picture and get the best out of it. And Songs of Six doesn't immediately punish you terribly if there is an imbalance somewhere immediately. You get some time to clear that out. Songs is the best ant colony sim. Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. So let's check out. Is there enough crypt for everybody? Let's see. With the new disease system and all, there's a lot more need for graveyards and crypts and the like. You see, there's a lot more people dying of disease than ever before for me with this game. It's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. You're welcome, Pixel. If anybody asks me ever about whether Songs of Six is worth your time, I can only say, why haven't you played it yet? Because this game is outright amazing in all its regards. It's definitely one of the best things that the city building genre has in store these days. And I'm not usually that full of praise for something, you know. But here it is also a lot because of the constant development of this game, you know. It's constantly getting better. And that's been always the case. That's why I am very, very trustful here, the development of that project. So let's put up another crypt. I'm somehow afraid that my burial space won't be enough. And people are unhappy when they have to look at a life where they possibly can't be buried in a crypt. You know, that's a big downer for most of the people here, so, why is the workload not always 100%? Because it's damn hard to balance that out. The workload also depends on the outside input of your warehouses. Like, the warehouses also have pawns running around and delivering to these workshops. And if there's ever a shortage in terms of delivery, then there's going to be a stop of working. The other fluctuation of the workload is totally freaking me out, and I don't have any idea why it's like that. Always bothered me, always wondered about that, never was able to give you a clear answer how it comes down to that. I can only assume it's because of the carrying capacity of my dudes not being high enough or something like that. Speaking about which, let's increase on that, and let's increase on the smithy bonus as well, because, you know, I want more tools. And beyond that, isn't there a production bump up for tools specifically, or am I mistaken about that? Looks like I'm mistaken about that. Can only increase the smithy bonus globally. Well, we definitely will bring up a noble for that, I'd say. And, oh yeah, I need to allocate some tech into the arena. I don't even have the arena tech yet. Yikes, didn't know. So, Will, thanks for the videos. How you cheat? You only can look at the heat map for the specific building when you select it. So you click the eatery, and then you see the mesh grid here. And then you see, for example, here we have a lack of eating services. And sadly, I don't know any direct way of accessing that. For whatever reason that is, I can't tell you. But yeah. Basically, here we see that the dudes and dudettes would love to have another place to eat at. The canteen obviously doesn't cut it. There's so much stuff going on that they want more eating jobs over here. And here's the weird thing. The canteen has different mesh grid than the eatery. I just wanted to mention that because it's a real bummer not to know that. So if ever possible, just try to build as few eateries as possible, and whenever you can, settle down with the canteens because they make the people way happier than the eateries. And yeah, these grids, you can always open them up when you click the specific building, and then you can see where it's paying off to build one of these and where it's not. For example, here it is questionable if I would build a new bathhouse. Not the worst spot, but not the best either. Down here is a pretty good area. Let's see. Our mine people are actually quite happy when it comes down. But down here, this is where we would benefit a damn lot. And here is also a pretty tight spot. Yeah. It's quite amazing that I have still, after having still 2 bathhouses in this area here, there's still a shortage of service, but you know, and aging in knowledge. Yeah, this is a much bigger problem nowadays. That now that we also have the elderly retirement homes and the like, and so. I'm still looking forward to see how these things now play out in the long run, because that's definitely a new thing for me, for sure. So, cotton income doesn't really go better now. I mean, as you see here, the science income is honestly not as good as you would want it to be, while there's so much knowledge waiting to be unlocked again. So let's see, what can we do to make our Dondorian overlords a little bit happier? So I definitely feel like I can give them a little bit more furniture yet again. We seem to have opened up on that department, or we seem to have improved on that department quite a lot. And I even could be bringing up even more carpenters in here. You know, that workshop ain't finished yet. But let's increase that access for now. And I'm considering to bring up the workforce here. But for now, not for now. Because I really want to wait until I have unlocked the frozen knowledge here and unlock the arena tech. That's going to be, I think, a big bump up in terms of happiness. And after that, well, let's see how it'll go. I mean, I do happen to have a nice amount of grain overproduction there. Yeah, with the eateries, it's really important that you take care that the you see this this blue line here. This blue line is showing the logistical reach of your eatery or canteen, and it's damn important that you make sure that they are always in the vicinity of a warehouse which can provide the food they need. Otherwise, it won't happen. So here, for example, it's not in the reach of the warehouse to provide, or is it? Well, it's an edge case here. Pretty much an edge case here. Hard to tell. Really hard to tell. Let's see. But it doesn't tell me that they're lacking anything, you see. They're getting food in. If ever you have the problem and you don't want to put up an entire warehouse there, there's also the option to just set up a hauler in front of that and let it dump the food in front of that. So, since this is going to be the granary of my city, I probably want to set up another eatery here, though. In the long run, that is. For now, well, let's see. The workload gets lower and lower. How so? I don't understand it. This is something that that's been confusing me for a damn long time. So let's put up auto employ again. Let's see what it'll do for me. And most importantly, let's see if the production per year gets higher or lower substantially, because, you know, if there's going to be no change whatsoever in terms of the production, then little do I care. So, let's set up the smithy in here, so you can copy-paste rooms inside the mountain as well. Check the red triangle. Missing coal. So they are... quite often missing coal, that's the point. Alright. So... there is an undersupply of coal. Thanks, Brian. Well, I think I just need more coal production in total. Because there is a huge storage available here, and there's workers here to carry that. The only problem is just a undersupply of that. So, I guess that's also the reason why the auto-employment didn't increase the amount of workers on that end, because there was not enough fuel there. That starts to make sense. So, there's bar, your canteen is empty, second one from the top. So these guys, yeah, here they are too far away from the warehouse. So they only had bread. Why do they, I guess they get the bread because they are close to the bakery. So let's make this, let's make a hot fix for this one. So let's put up a couple of haulers. This does increase the workload on this thing quite a lot, but you know, it ain't the most horrible thing in the on the earth. So go. That should help, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. Let's see if that'll change. You guys have keen eyes. And now there are stockpiles here again. Thanks. So let's see. And for the others, there's everything fine. It's the fun part about this game for me. There's always constantly still so much to learn for me. While I think I do know already a lot about the game, it always shows me that there's so much that I don't know yet. That's something I do like. Oh, we're at a negative net amount of workers. That's not a problem, though. We're going to bring up, like... It's time for the humans! Yeah. The Dondorian overlords might be a bit pissed about that, but, you know... Sometimes you need a good old-fashioned human. Can't change that. So we got now, of course, this here. This is where the negative workers came from. I don't want these to work right now. Stop it, guys. Stop it. You're not supposed to. So, I had no clue that the frozen knowledge does get available so slowly. Alright, so let's see. There's still a lack of coal, but it does take a couple of days for the extra workers to get into motion. So let's crank that up to the max, because my society will require more and more coal from this point on. And I can also bring up tools for coal miners later when I have tools again. So let's see. For the time being, I'm going to deactivate this smithy because it is no good for me. I don't need it as of yet. We're going to put it into motion as soon as it is a necessary thing. So let's see, how did the service grid change? Yeah, so as you see, the immediate vicinity is now happier. Wonderful. So are my bathhouses probably also undersupplied with coal? Yes, they are. So it seems like my entire city was suffering from a steady undersupplyment of coal. So that was an underlying problem that I overlooked. That's pretty cool. To have that out of the way, I mean. Or slowly get myself towards to. As you see here, the total amount of coal is racking up now. We've got some homelessness to take care of. Will do. So, let's see. I bet it's down at the coal mine spot. Yep. Because I cracked up the populace there, the worker populace a lot there, so it doesn't come as a big surprise that we now need more housing down here. The problem I see is that there's not much room for housing so far. Because, you know, you don't want to have your housing right next to the mines, because that's too darn noisy. So, let's just say... this one is just outside of the noise cloud. Yeah. It's a mine. Efficiency above beauty here. I feel like that's a great spot to crank in a couple of extra apartments. This will help us a lot. Alrighty. What's up next? Well, I really want to monitor how my coal supply goes now. Whether or not I need to invest here more, you know. Hey, you're welcome, Adam. Luton has been actually introduced by the community to me, and it has been a surprise fun thing for me as well. So, good thing that you mentioned it. Should be definitely going to give that another feature sometime soon, because, you know, I had a lot of fun with that myself as well. Although I think it's going to be not an ideal game to be much streamed here on my channel, because I feel like it does develop quite a idle heavy portion quite quickly. But I think I haven't hit that spot yet on my current playthrough, and if I do hit that spot at some point, I'm going to play it on my own until I hit a spot where there's worth showcasing things again. Hey, Chris from Ohio, thank you for your kind words. These are always appreciated as well. So where's that freaking homeless dude? So it's a caretaker. Okay, the homeless dude is a caretaker. So for some reason, if there's only one homeless dude, the game does not think it's necessary to give you a color-coded information about that, sadly. Yeah, Songs of Six is a very, very special game for sure. Kind of hard to get into, but once you are into it, it's hard to get to let go of it. I'm going to feature a new similar game quite soon as well, which is called Rise to Ruins. If you like colony building, tower defense, and incremental gaming, this game is a treat. So, let's see. Probably put the houses somewhere where they were not necessary, huh? Yeah, I think like the biggest problem for me to get into in Songs of Six was the here is the homelessness. The biggest issue to get into was for me the entire building menu. I feel like the building menu of this game is I have hard times finding neutral words for that. So you can think, alright, you can already think what I think about, say what I think about that. I mean, it does provide, I do like the way you build buildings in this game. Like, for example, that you can individualize each building totally to your needs, but I totally dislike the graphical user interface and the way it is programmed. I mean, it is way less atrocious than it was way back when. Like, there were occasions where you were losing entire rooms only because you clicked the wrong button. I think this has been ironed out by now a lot. But there's still a lot of pain in it as well. So, let's see. How did my situation develop now that I got coal again? So, is this place now fully working as intended? So, of course, since the auto-employment has set them up like that. But it seems as if the smithy was not able to keep up with the coal consumption. Or was it? Hard to tell. For now, I want to stack up on the coal for real. Let's see what I'm going to do with that. And let's check on the administration. So I'm stuck at 7 points. That means my 30 clerks are pretty much at their cap of their effectiveness. So we're going to bring up another 20 of these, because I personally always feel that administration is one of the most important long-term thingies that you can do in this game. Okay, knowledge is slowly getting unlocked here again. Let's learn how to make weapons, because that's the first thing that I want to bring up here. So, the warehouse here, oh god, the warehouse here really needs an upgrade. So let's pause the game and do that real quick, because, you know, there's just not enough crates in here. I do remember that when I brought up the warehouse, I was not as rich as I am yet, as I am now. But, you know, let's bring that up to my current situation, you know. There's going to be a little bit of storage in here. I sometimes do wonder whether or not, or how important the logistical infrastructure inside these buildings is. So what I try to say with that is, if I build my warehouse full of wicked nooks and crannies where your workers have trouble to get there, like, I mean, you could literally build a labyrinth in here where there's only one way to walk through. Would that impact would that impact the efficiency of my workers negatively, or do they not care at all? That's something I really wonder about. Yeah, are you sure you want to delete this room or building? This prompt is so lacking, and I don't know why it hasn't been introduced, because I think there's still the option, if you press the wrong button, to delete the entire room out of an accident, which really feels terribly bad. I hope it is not that much of an issue anymore. I merely learned to play my way around it, so it doesn't happen to me anymore. So let's make 2 crates of armor and weapon. That's rookie numbers, but we gotta start somewhere. And let's start crafting weapons. So activate that thing again, and hire us our first 10 blacksmiths for the weapons. Also set up an export station as usual. Business as usual. Because of course we're going to sell our finely crafted weapons on the market as soon as we have too many of them. So big step forward. Definitely going to need another smithy now for the weapons as well, but for the armor as well, but we're gonna get there one thing at a time. I also noticed that my money is slowly running lower right now, so probably the opiate imports are quite costly. So I feel as if I should probably consider learning either some new bartering tech or bringing up new exports, something like that. It seems to be in order right now. The amount of coal here, it gets more and more. That's great. And next thing that I want to do is unlock the arenas, because I think arenas will make my people a lot happier there. And that warehouse is a beast, isn't it? So now I have plenty of room for the needs of this part of the mountain city there. I think we're going to need nothing larger than that. So weapons are already racking up quite quickly. 10 smiths do quite a lot of work there. Is there somewhere I'm missing how to tell the region of temperature? It's a good question. Let's check it out. So when you check out the world tab, I think if you mouse over the regions, probably. So Instria, let's see. Doesn't really show me the temperature region though. Let's see. Do see the factions, so I really can't tell you, I'm sorry. It's actually a good question. Homelessness occurring, so we got homelessness on the fishermen's huts and the pastures. All of a sudden, as if there was now suddenly a increase of people there, but whatever. We're just going to slap up a couple of apartments here, you know. Easy enough. It's a map view you can use. Oh yeah, the spoilage reduction tech is a very valuable one, Adam. You're right about that. It's easy to overlook how valuable it is. Let's see, did I already invest into that? I had a couple of points into logistics, administration, spoilage. I have 1 level so far, but it's a good pointer. Probably wanted to get there as well. But for now, well, I really want to increase trade negotiations now. I really gotta hold myself back because I want to have these 1,800 tech points for the arena. It's the next best thing that I want to do. And also, we have 28 more administrational points. So let's see. The tax income here is slowly growing because we're investing into the production of the region. And there are more people growing here. So let's invest into infrastructure more. And let's see. Let's do that. And let's wait then again. Here, you see there the income there does increase or again. But I mean the numbers we get there of the mushrooms are a joke. I mean it's probably going to be better to work on farming these myself rather than going too far into tax investment, but well, whatever. I pictured the Dondorian as, or the Empire of Dondor as a society that's interested in the longevity of the region and the well-being of the people there, you know. They are quite long-living. I don't know. How long are Dondorians living, actually? Do they even die? Let's see. So, adult at day 0. Love to hear that. But do you guys have an age? Let's see. So... where'd you look that up? Physics, probably here. 180 years. Not immortal, but quite a long time. So I'm at minus workers. Now I'm wondering where the increase came from, but whatever. Let's just pack some more Dondorians. Yeah, Adam, I figured that I probably want to farm my own mushrooms at some point, but at the same time I want to try if I am able to get the tax income to a point where it does come together in a decent way. Probably we get that lucky. So... slowly seeing a decline in my metal income as well, so I'm considering to upgrade the metal smelter as well soon. But let's take things slowly. So for this session I really do realize how much less I'm building than usual. I think the mushrooms have to be grown inside a room or something like that. I have not too much experience with growing mushrooms in Songs of Six, though. So, administrational production is going places. And here, the income of the taxation is rising and rising as well, because we're making the numbers go up here in that region. So, I'm going to stop taxing Syphilon and start taxing more mushrooms. Because the Syphilon, I figured that we are way better off producing that by ourselves. I have a, I had not really the feeling as if it was worth it for now. Later down the road when I got enough administration points maybe, but not now. I mean, we have to upgrade here quite a lot as well, so... they need a room, but mountain walls are enough, I see. Alright. So, bows need to be produced as well. So we'll see about the option of a mountain mushroom farm for sure. Sounds like a good plan. Maybe we'll get that from the outside. We'll see about that. Now, a couple of human immigrants can be allowed as well. I need a couple of odd jobbers for sure. And let's see. The Dondorian populace is unhappy. I mean, I have already unlocked this area as my as a temple for a Furi, but long-term plans, you know, long-term plans. So, let's see, this place is still undersupplied with coal, so... let's see. Which is kind of weird, because it's the storages here of coal are there. No available services. Ah, okay. That's the problem, not the coal. Let's see. So yeah, we definitely could use another bathhouse here. So going to install it inside the mountain then, you know. Here. Just like that. Boom. Yeah, well, the city has the big challenge that the outside, the above Earth space is pretty limited. You know, when you look at the entirety of the map, there's there's a higher percentile amount of space under the mountain than the other way around. But that's what I loved about this map when I saw it in the first place, because I felt like that's a perfect map to do a mountain Dondorian kingdom. You know. So, then all of a sudden the coal miners need another living spawn. Like, I really wonder how that comes together. It's like they are supposed to work there since now more than a year or so, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I need a living space here. Were these two guys wandering back home every time? Makes you wonder. So, noise. Able to put up one more house here, and we can squeeze in another here, but then slowly start to run out of options. Or, well, let's do one thing before the next coal miner decides that he wants to move in. I'm going to carve a couple of extra... well, let's just carve it out here like that. Odd jobbers to work. That'll help. Alright, but altogether, nice piece of progress today. Only thing I'm a little bit bothered about is that the frozen tech gets unlocked so slowly again. Very tempted the whole time to whip out a increase of what's it called? I want to increase my scientists the entire time, but then I hold myself back because I have 5,600 science points available. I'm just impatient right now. Recently just found the workplace menu to make them work on something out of placement order. I can't quite follow you. What you are trying to say there? Hey, Wild Heine Games, welcome. Happy to see you. Enjoy your stay. So let's pack up more Dondorians. We're finally 1,100 people. Growth in this episode was a tad bit slower, but mostly because I'm setting right now myself up for being the overlord of this area, you know. So more education. Well, population growth is a little bit slow already. So let's go for more infrastructure. Yeah. Let's make this place especially productive or something like that. I don't know. I haven't played around with the administration menu too much in detail. At least not for a longer period of time. Well, altogether, situation is pretty fine. So, lighting is at a 74% fulfillment there. Wow. The only thing our Dondorians would like to have are battles, more riches, awe. I could bring up a little bit more awe. Ah, the workstation. Yeah. The workstations are awesome. If you want to get a job done somewhere, like carving out tunnels and the like, it's pretty cool, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. They are really damn good if you have trouble focusing your odd jobbers, or just if you have that habit of issuing too many jobs at once. You need to bundle them up somewhere. That's where I found them immensely useful. No problem, Chris. Now understood what you were trying to say. So, did that bathhouse come together that I ordered? Yep. So, are you guys now finally happy with the amount of bathing? Insufficient workers allocated. Yeah, okay. It's not going to be an issue for that for a longer period of time there. You see, I foresaw it. The coal miners again. They want to move in. I don't know why it takes them so long to realize that they better get themselves a real home here in the vicinity. But luckily, I knew that this would happen before it happened. Yeah, Adam, that's a good point. We're going to put some training building up as soon as we are through other things. I plan to give them an arena next because, you know, they love that. An arena and another smithy for armor. That's another thing that I really wanted to have. So, there goes. Because that's also darn important for us. At the very least, I'm able to earn tons of money with armor and weapons out of my own production. And we also should definitely upgrade the smelter. And we have trapped people. Let me help you, fools, in a second. When I'm done with the more important things. Grown-up people do. So, let's slap up some extra auxiliary furnaces. Because things like these matter. Oh wow, we really increased the bulk of that build here. Requires so many extra furnaces now to work on out. Now it's at 100%, great. Because I figured lately that I don't have enough steel. Alright, they either died or rescued themselves or got rescued. I don't care. As long as they're good. How do haulers work? Haulers, I show you. Example here, because I misbuilt a little bit. You set up a hauler's place and you tell them what they are supposed to bring there. And then they constantly make sure that 64 of this good or more, if you make the hauler station larger, are being transported there. So for this example here, this was what I needed to make the canteen work, because I accidentally built my canteen outside of the radius of my warehouse there, so it didn't get any food. So I fixed that with a couple of haulers. It's pretty work intense because I have now 3 laborers that do nothing except for carrying the food to the canteen, and I gotta say, they have a very, very easy life. They don't have too much to do in a grand total, but little do I care. It's not really an issue, and it's an easier thing compared to, well, I could build a small warehouse there, and then I would have only 1 worker busy there, but 1 worker, 3 workers, when your population goes at some point into the thousands, it doesn't really matter. Some people have an easy life. Lucky for them. Place it where you want to get the items to go. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. Very happy that I was able to tell you something you didn't know yet. These little things, they help so much. I mean, I didn't know that you can find out why the building is inefficient with this little thingy here. So I learned something about that. Because now that that there is a constant supply of coal, there's only a the AI even does increase the amount of workers in there autonomously. So Today I learned if the auto-employment doesn't increase the amount of workers accordingly, that's because there's not enough resource being transported there. And it amazes me that there's still so much more to learn after I have played this game so much, because I did also. It's not that I didn't play this game a lot. It's just that my wife played it more. So, I'm able to produce armor. And I am starting to run out of metal here. That's why it was so important to tickle up the metal smelter here. And homelessness. Where is it now? The homelessness of the coal miners continues. Like, can they not just decide to want homes all at once, please? No. Just asking. Here, have some extra apartments, you filthy miners, you. Can't wait for Empire to grow by another province. Oh yeah, Adam, that's going to be the next bigger step. But first, I have to set up the location here. And I think we're going to need at least one, if not two more streams to consolidate here enough until I'm able to set up a production that will make an army possible. Probably will take a while. So, the case of homelessness has not subsided. Alright. So, let's put up more apartments there. Quite cheeky to put them just outside the radius of the noise, but whatever. Yeah, well, the thing is that I have upgraded the amount of workers here since a damn long time already, and I'm like waiting for the AI finally being done with allocating new people, with new people deciding to live inside the mountain, but whatever. So, we're being extorted. So, when the dudes come for the extortion money, better pay up. Especially if you don't have an army. If you have an army, well, if you just happened to save a while ago, you can go for the fight. If not, I'd not recommend you to, because whenever I tried the fighting in this game, it ended up horrible for me. Because it's you know, I know how to move my troops, I know how that all works, but it somehow never ended positively for me. And then I haven't had saved my game beforehand, and then I was frustrated and pissed off and turned off the game again. The end. So, now we're producing all the stuff. Armor and weapons. But I do realize that I keep running out of metal here. Why so? I mean... Am I not haven't I put up enough new production there? Well... Probably need to reduce the total amount of blacksmiths working on that. Probably need to increase the amount of ore miners, just... Yeah, probably the biggest issue there on the table. There's been only 10 people mining ore yet. 10. Jeez, no wonder that nothing here worked on out. So, but I'm pretty sure that that also means that we're going to require more mountain apartments here, so let's make that happen right away. Yeah. Now it's the homelessness of the ore miners, I bet. No, it's still the homelessness of the coal miners, okay. Well, I think I'm playing on the standard setting for raids. I don't know how much that is percentile. Sorry, Adam. So let's put up one housing here. And, well, not there. I want to leave that open as a passage there. Let's see if that'll change something. Because I got the feeling as if things aren't really working on out here as intended. But now the total amount of employees is rising. Yeah, the AI just didn't increase the total amount of people working at the smelter because I wasn't producing enough ore. The game is actually pretty smart in many, many ways. Smarter than I thought it would be. So now we are suffering from more homelessness cases, but now it's the homelessness of all the miners at once, so... Well, luckily I am already expanding here, so... It'll take a moment, though, for the homes to be completed, but that's not the biggest issue whatsoever. More importantly, I need to balance out my metal situation, because it's not really something that I can't tolerate, that I run out of metal. Not okay. If so, I need to turn off a couple of the buildings that I'm rocking right now. So 16 cases of homelessness now. Getting worse and worse. I mean, I could solve these problems a lot easier if I would stop spamming apartments, because apartments are really bad in terms of ratio of space versus living room, but whatever. So, please explain nobles and the chamber room. So, simply said, nobles are citizens in your town that will only be happy if you provide them chambers. You have to click on a certain person, then you can press this button here to elevate them into a position of power and make them noble, and then they'll try and find a chamber to live in. So, basically, you see the Master of Industry is living in here. And long story short, for every noble, you need one chamber. And if I remember correctly, the cantors also want a chamber per population, so they are really damn picky as well. And that's that. You just select the noble you want, then you make sure that you have the necessary slots for that, you know. I right now have, I think, slots for 5 noblemen in total, which I'm not using. But oh, it does take a crappy long time for the noble to get into his home. And the other thing that I noticed, try to think of where the noble's field of expertise is located. So for example, here we have the Master of Industry living. Most of my industrial stuff is happening here. I had the impression as if the nobles were not taking the home if it was too far away from their actual place where they wanted to be. But that's something I'm not too sure about. I had the same issue with the homelessness for a damn long time as well, but at some point it just suddenly disappeared. I'm not sure if it was because the nobles just take damn long until they finally decided to pick up a home, or if I had it placed down wrong location-wise. Needs proofing. I don't know that yet. But I had the impression as if for the noble people it did matter that the spot was close enough for them to go there. So we have a homelessness issue here for the metal smelters here as well. So let's see. Let's put up apartments over here. By the way, a lot of people were criticizing my decision to build apartments in that volume. I think I said it before a couple of streams ago. For one, I want to try out how far I can get with that strategy, and the other thing is I also feel like the Dondorians consider themselves a very sophisticated society of architects and the like, and therefore everybody should have some fancy housing in their city. So that's been the narrative behind that. But seriously, it is also for me to test out the borders of this system, whether it does break under such wacky ideas, or if you can actually get an entire populace inside apartments. So Just so you know. Alrighty, so I'm tuning on out now because I feel like I'm getting lost in this, and it's been a damn good time. I thank you all for watching. Next time, let's see what we're going to get ourselves into. I'm not sure about that. I'm really happy with the progression so far. Seems like the metal income has become positive by now as well. Let's see where we'll end up next. So I thank you all for the good time and the good company, you all, and we're going to continue there. So have a good time. Drop me a comment down below. A thumbs up would be very appreciated, as well as a subscription if you haven't done so already. Also, if you want to catch the stream next time live, there is a link to my Discord and to my Twitter, where I announce all the streams before they happen. And last but not least, please check out my Patreon link and my PayPal link if you want to support this channel. I would be deeply delighted, because I am a creator of free content. My content will never cost you any money, and therefore I can use all the help that I can get. So thanks everybody again for watching the ad roll. Have a wonderful day, you all, and see you soon, I hope. Bye bye.